Rockstar Games and their parent company Take-Two Interactive look to be back at it again, and I speculate that this could be something for Grand Theft Auto 6 as Grand Theft Auto 5 continues to stay on the top of the charts. We'll be talking about all of that in this video today and a whole lot more. So you guys might remember right before the release of the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, Rockstar and their parent company Take-Two Interactive started taking down various mods that would allow you to go back and essentially play these older titles. And we're taking down mods that had to do with Vice City or San Andreas or Grand Theft Auto 3. And as we now know, it's because they didn't want any fan-created copies to be able to compete with their official releases that came out, the Definitive Edition of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. We've also seen Rockstar do this in the past with other titles in their collection. So there used to be a mod for Grand Theft Auto 5 that would allow you to play the entirety of the Red Dead Redemption map. Well, that got taken down right before the reveal and release of Red Dead Redemption 2, where we obviously know we can get to play on the original Red Dead Redemption map as well. So long story short, Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive sort of tip their hand when they issue a takedown like this, because it's usually what we're going to see going forward in the future. And so today we're talking about another story. It's a GTA 5 modder who got slapped with an interesting takedown from Take-Two and Rockstar. His name is Luke Ross. Great name, by the way. I'll leave a link to his page in the description. He makes mods for Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption and brings them into virtual reality. But the publisher of those games, Take-Two Interactive, was apparently not amused, and they actually issued him with a DMCA takedown. And essentially what they want him to do is he's going to be forced to remove his VR mods. So he was uploading these mods on the website Patreon. I'm sure you've heard of that site before. And this is what they actually told him. Hello, my name is Richard. I'm contacting you from the Patreon Trust and Safety team. We recently received a copyright claim for works you are making available on Patreon. Specifically, the claim comes from Take-Two Interactive Software, Inc., parent company of Rockstar Games, Inc., and 2K Games, Inc., who owns the rights to Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Mafia Definitive Edition being utilized in your posts on Patreon. We ask that you remove all copyrighted works from your Patreon page. If you are unable to remove these works in a timely manner, or if we have trouble determining the extent of the potential infringement on your page, we may suspend your account or the post in question until all claimed materials have been removed. I'll leave a link to this entire post in the description, but essentially, long story short, Rockstar Games and the parent company Take-Two Interactive are saying you got to shut this thing down. So as you guys heard there really isn't a lot of room to negotiate here, and Patreon states that he actually has to remove all the copyright works even if he appeals. And according to Patreon's DMCA page, he only has 48 hours to comply, even though he revealed he wasn't actually provided with a copy of Take-Two's takedown request, and he doesn't know what they're asking him to remove. Now, in a public blog post, he actually revealed that he doesn't believe he's hosting any copyright material, saying, "None of my modifications are built using software belonging to Take-Two Interactive software, and the modifications are not intended to replace their games, nor are they a means of exploiting Take-Two Interactive software's proprietary IPs or assets. You have to buy the original game for them to work." But unfortunately, the "they're just mods" argument has not stopped Take-Two Interactive in the past. And really the only explanation we've gotten from this came from Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick on a 2021 earnings call, where he said he doesn't hate mods, but he said if the economy is threatened or if there's bad behavior, and he said they know how to define that, then they would issue a takedown notice. Now, that's a pretty broad statement, and I'm sure he said that intentionally, because remember back then, it seemed like the mod crackdown was clearing the way for the remastered Grand Theft Auto games. And while we haven't heard anything official about a GTA VR mode, it is true that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is coming to VR. So it makes you wonder if this is going to be something also utilized for the future. We know that Rockstar's next game is going to be Grand Theft Auto 6, and if it does have a VR component to it, you'd think the ship might have already sailed for something like GTA 5, then I think it's very possible this is Take-Two Interactive clearing the way, because they don't want fan-made modifications to take the place of what they're doing officially. It's a very tricky thing here when you've got developers and publishers trying to step in and take down these mods, and Obviously, as far as the fans go, this does not go over very well, but it makes you wonder what Rockstar is planning, what Take-Two Interactive is planning here. It looks like some VR mode could be in the works. Now, one of the reasons why Rockstar might be so keen at shutting this stuff down is it looks like GTA 5 is still just not going anywhere. So the other day, PlayStation released their June 2022 top downloads, and Grand Theft Auto 5 actually jumped up all the way around, which is interesting because halfway through the month, the game actually lost its discount, and Grand Theft Auto Online was not available to get for free on the PS5. However, for PS5 games, you can see that in the US and Canada, Grand Theft Auto 5 lands at the number 5 spot, and in the EU, it lands at the number 5 spot too. So for the PlayStation 5, it's actually sneaking up the list quite a bit, and for the PlayStation 4, it's actually been a lot higher. So you can see a lot more people are still enjoying this on the older systems, with Grand Theft Auto 5 coming in at number 3, for both the US, Canada, and EU. And one of the other changes is that Red Dead Redemption 2 also makes its way into the top 5, with it being in the 4th place spot in the US and Canada and the 5th place spot in the EU. Whereas on the PlayStation 5, it's not even on the top 20 on either of those categories. So I think it's very clear that as things currently stand, Rockstar games are still more popular on the older systems. And maybe that's because right now there's no real incentive to have the new games on the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or S. I mean, there's some limited bonuses that you get in Grand Theft Auto Online, but certainly not in Red Dead Redemption 2. There's almost no need to make the jump unless you obviously just want to experience it with a newer set of graphics and platforms and stuff like that. And sort of wrapping things up here, personally, I think there's a better way to go about it than just simply taking down this stuff with these copyright claims and DMCA takedowns. You see other video game companies actually hiring people who make mods for their titles, as they can honestly do it better sometimes than the people actually working on the game. So I wish that's the way Rockstar would go about doing things, instead of just coming in there with a hatchet and shutting everything down. But maybe this means something VR-related is coming in the future for Grand Theft Auto 6. I can't imagine it's for another version of GTA 5. You have to think at that point in time this ship has sailed. But as we've seen, it's still at the top of the charts, so you never know. But I'd obviously, like I said, love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think about everything we discussed in this video today. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.